वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्त प्रतिपद्दये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती दशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्धधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासलबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम्। So yesterday we made a little transition from karma towards jnana by looking at this concept of yajna. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, yajna was discussed in the first instance in chapter 3. It starts with a shloka, yajnartam karma lokon anyatra karma bandhanah tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samajara. It is the 9th shloka in chapter 3. From there to 19th shloka, there are 11 shlokas. That's where Krishna first introduced some concepts on yajna. But in that chapter, there is a very, very important point he is making. He said, Purovacha Prajapatihi, Anena Prasavidyam, Ishtakama Dukha, all that he is saying. Essentially, he said how this yajna is a very, very important guiding principle for life. Then he made two very important statements. First statement, he said, those who do not share with others and consume, because it says these are all given by devas. There is nothing which we can earn on our own. Although we may have an ahankara to say, I have earned everything myself. It is all given by devas. Tai dattaihi apradayebhyo. There is one shloka like that. He says, if you don't share what you have obtained, which the gods have blessed on you, and you consume everything by yourself, Krishna said, you are eating sin. That's what he said in one of the shloka. And another shloka he said that you should never partake anything only for you. You should share it with others. So these ideas were laid out in chapter 3, shlokas 9 to 19. So if you take that along with what we discussed yesterday, yajna, in fact, that's why he said, there is annat bhavati parjanyah, parjanyat anna sambhava, yajnat bhavati parjanyah. All karmas reside in yajna. That is what there's on 14th shloka in chapter 3 that brings all this cycle. To take all these, yajna is the fundamental principle of sustainability. Because if we don't live and let live, there is no sustainability. We have to live and let live. God has given me this much, there is one proportion which I can give. God has given me this much, I give such a big proportion. It is not about the proportion, it is about the spirit of living and let others living. This is the cardinal principle. Today, sustainability is all talked about as though it is only climate. Climate is not the only sustainability. Social sustainability is very deep. Dharma and yajna are the cardinal principles of sustainability in our system. So all those who live with the spirit of yajna, which is the arpana bhava, be thankful to the Lord that He bestowed me something. For some He has bestowed brain, for some He has bestowed wealth, for some He has bestowed a frame of mind to do service. For some, He has bestowed a capability of leading others. Everything is God's given. That's why everything is ahuti in life. Every moment of how we spend our time in this karma bhumi is nothing but an ahuti which we are giving moment by moment. That is the spirit Krishna has taken us to yajna. He has taken us to that level because only when we are able to reach there, we will leave the chapter called karma and get into jnana. Otherwise, this itself will keep us all the time. All the time we'll be worried only about this. We have to step out of that. And the only way to step out of that is the principle of yajna. That's where we stopped yesterday. So we stopped here. Apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juhvati sarve pyete yajna vidaha yajna kshapita kalmashaha. So with this apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juhvati, where I said eating itself is an yajna, Vaishwanara yajna. I mean, think about saying I had breakfast instead of saying I do Vaishwanara yajna 3 times a day. It's a great way of transforming ourselves. I can go and say I am doing Vaishwanara yajna. All of us are doing yajna actually. Some people do 4 or 5 times a day, but at least 3 times a day. Some people do once a day also. I'm just saying. We are all doing Vaishwanara yajna, actually speaking. Okay. So there are 12 different types up to this. Then he said, people who understood this very spirit of yajna, he says, yajna kshapita kalmasha. Through this yajna, all their, dirt, all their sins, their, kalusha in their mind, everything will go. This is how Krishna is concluding the whole discussion on yajna. So that yajna kshapita kalmasha, why is it happening? Because so many things he has told, if you look at. He said, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. Brahma Karma Samadhana. Everything is Brahman. The yajna is Brahman. Ahuti is Brahman. What is being given is Brahman. What is being received is Brahman. Where it goes is Brahman. All that. Yes, everything is Brahman. Then he said, sense and sense organs, sense objects, all that, the vyavahara that we do in the world is all a type of yajna. That is the next thing he did. Then he said, all these are offered to the prana, the pancha pranas are offered to the soul. That is another type of yajna. Then he talked about 5 different type of yajnas, dravya yajna, tapo yajna, jnana yajna, swadhyaya yajna and all that. Then pranayama parayana, purakam, kumbhakam, rechakam is also in yajna. Then food is also in yajna. Everything is yajna. So From what is our understanding of yajna now? From a mere act of pouring ghee in an altar of fire. That's where we started. A mere act of pouring ghee in an altar of fire. From that level, we have gone up to the level where we find every moment of our life is a type of an yajna. Why will it not clean up our mind? Why will it not cleanse our mind completely? It will completely change our complexion. It will change our approach to everything that we do in life. Everything will go through a change because that is the level Krishna has taken. So, and also the spirit of yajna. Na mama. Indra idan na mama. Right? Vayave idan na mama. Rudra idan na mama. Vishnave idan na mama. So when we give dravya yajna also na mama. See, there is a difference between dhanam in Indian context and dhanam in the Western context. Dhanam in the Western context is strictly in a cost-benefit atmosphere. If I have to give a gift, you have to give me a return gift. We have now understood all that in our birthday parties also. Western concept of dana is, if dana is received, you have to, so there is an expectation on the part of the giver to get back. Indian dana is giving up, not giving. When you give, you have to give up. It should go out of your mind. There is no, cost-benefit exercise there. Number one. Number two, dana in Indian context was considered as a great God-given opportunity. So the person, that's why any dana you give, you wash his legs, you do a Dambati Puja. When Kanika dana is given, that bridegroom, he is Mahavishnu. His leg is washed, puja is offered him. Because of all the danas, the greatest dana is Kanika dana. Then only Vidya dana and all that. Because this society will be sustained only by Grihastha ashrama, not by any of the ashramas. Sannyasi cannot sustain this society. Brahmachari cannot. A Vanaprasthi cannot. Only Grihastha ashrama can sustain a society. That is why if a girl and a boy says, I am ready to get into Grihastha ashrama, the society must celebrate. The parents must celebrate. You have taken a great responsibility on you. That's why that bridegroom is a Mahavishnu. So, dana is understood like that in our culture. It is giving up. And it is considered as a great opportunity to make a difference to someone for some reason. That is why Yajna Dana Tapak Karma Pavanani Manishinam, 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita says, Yajna, Dana and Tapa will clean your mind. That's only cleaning detergent for you. There is no other detergent available for the mind. It is Yajna, Dana and Tapa. So a cleansed mind will move forward in life. That is why I am saying Yajna is a bridge between karma and jnana. This is the bridge. When I say Yajna, you can take Yajna, Dana, Tapas. Because they are using different terminologies, but they all are the integral part of this whole exercise. Yajna, Dana, Tapa. That's why Krishna uses all the three together. Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karyameva, Kartavyam, Karyameva, Tat, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma, Pavanani Manishina. That's what he says in 18th chapter. So that is what Krishna is saying. Then he has one or two concluding shlokas. Then he does Jnana Prashamsa. Now he goes into knowledge. That's the end of the chapter. Last 10 shlokas is it takes you really to the highway of knowledge, because now we are ready. We have understood. Ready meaning we are understood. What is the path? Yajna Sishta Mrita Bujaha Yanti Brahma Sanatanam Nayam Lokostya Yajnasya Kutonya Kuru Sattama. Yajna Sishta, after giving to someone, see, whatever you have to share a little bit. That's why you cook, you have to share a little bit, leave it on the outside. Some ants will take it, some crow will take it, some cat will take it, some dog will have it. So after offering only we should eat. That is because that is no yajna for me. Eating is an yajna for me. So it should be yajna sishta. First you offer. See, in very traditional Brahmin families, you have to do what is called Vaishwadeva. Without that you can't eat. You have to look for Atiti. You have to give food, only then you can eat. No Atiti today, upavas for you. That was the spirit. Many of these practices have been given the go by because we have moved into another domain and we have gotten into something. My grandfather used to do. He will wait and wait for look for somebody, Vaishwadeva. He used to do Vaishwadeva every day. Without Vaishwadeva, he won't eat. I have seen my grandfather doing it. As a young boy, I have seen. So point is, it is always Yajna Sishta. Yajna Sishta is Amrita. After you partake your riches in a small little way, the balance is Amrita for you. Whether it is Dravya Yajna or any money you're earning, your food, whatever it is. That's why in my village, I don't know whether, I'm sure these practices are still there in villages. In my village, in our street, 130 houses. We have a system, good system, because they are agrarian. So what we do is from every house, we know there is a 20 kg or a 1 bag of rice, which we will give, right? There is one Dharmakarta in that street. He will have a number token up to 40. Which means anybody, some stranger when they come, I have guided those people when I was a child. Somebody will come, he'll say, can we have food? Then I'll say, go to that house. So you will have up to 40 number tokens. And there is a chowltry in which 40 people's food will be cooked every day. See how we are, that is called Yajna Sishta Amrita. After you give, that is Amrita. God has given you something. Take a small, whatever, Yatha Shakti. I will emphasize the word Yatha Shakti again and again. The spirit is more important, not the quantum. Yatha Shakti, take and keep something. See, Kanchi Paramacharya, he brought this idea of 1 handful of rice every day. He said, every day when you cook, you just take 1 handful and then keep it. And in a year, it will be actually some 10 kgs of rice, which you can give it to some poor. Simple methods can be tried for Yajna Sishta. So Yajna Sishta is Amrita. So those, who practice that, Yanti Brahma Sanatanam, they will reach Brahmanhood. Because one small step is a giant leap into that journey. That is what Krishna is saying. You take one small step, it is a giant leap into where you have to reach. And where you will reach? Brahman. That's why Yajna Sishta Amrita Bhuja. You keep something for others, use the balance, pray, thank the Lord, you bless me an opportunity to give Yatha Shakti something, the balance is Amrita. And that Amrita, if you develop that habit, he says, Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. You will reach there one day. We don't have to ask when. We don't have to ask at all when. We have to know only the road where we have to travel. You should not travel on the wrong road. As long as you are traveling on the right road, you will always reach the destination. If you travel on the wrong road, there is a problem. You will end up in some other place. So Krishna is saying this is the right road. Get in, you will reach one day. Then he says, Na ayam lokasya ayajnasya. A person who says, I will not do yajna. When I say yajna, all that we discussed yesterday, you should remember. A person who says, I will be selfish, I will take everything for myself, I will not let live that methodology I don't like and so on. Krishna says, you have wasted yourself. You have wasted yourself completely. This world will be of no use for you. You will only, Sanchita Karma will balloon. You have wasted yourself. This world, which is a beautiful laboratory, which is a Karma Bhumi. This is a Karma Bhumi. This is the only place where you will evolve. In heaven, you cannot evolve. Moksha is only here, not in the heaven. Heaven is a holiday timeshare. Whatever punya you go and spend some time and then come back. Kshine punye mritalokam. In chapter 9, Gita is saying, after your credit balance is over, he'll ask you, sir, 3 days only you booked. Your holiday balance, share is such a way that you booked only for 3 days. You come back here, action is here. This world is very, very important. That's why it's called Karma Bhumi. That's why he says, for an ayajna, a person who violated the principle of yajna, he has wasted the laboratory. This world is of no use for him. Na ayam lokaha. This world is of no use for him. Then he says, Kutanya, what to talk of the next world? This world itself, it is not useful for you. What am I going to talk about your, heavens and all the rest of no use? You are destroying yourself. You have not understood the cardinal principle of yajna. Live and let live. Do dravya yajna, do swadhyaya yajna, you do tapo yajna, do jnana yajna. You will evolve. So he says, na ayam lokaha asti ayajnasya, kuta anyaha, what to talk of the other world? That's what he actually conveys. With this, he more or less concludes the principle of yajna, which he started in chapter 3. He gave one set of ideas there. This is a higher set of ideas. That is level 1, this is level 2. Shloka 9 to 19 in chapter 3 is level 1. This is level 2. So after that, he moves on. The last remaining shlokas are jnana prashamsa. He celebrates knowledge. He celebrates the power of knowledge. Because that is what must be inspiring a person who has settled his issues with karma, who has settled his issues with his mind. His mind is now clean. The tensions, the pressure and all that has receded. Now what do I do with this mind? So Arjuna, Krishna is telling, I will tell you a very interesting next agenda for you, which is I will do a jnana prashamsa. That's what he is doing here. Evam bahuvida yajnaha vitata brahmana mukhe karmajan vidditan sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. A concluding shloka. It says, evam, like this, bahuvida yajnaha. I have showed you 12 different types of yajnas. Different ways I showed you. Bahuvida yajnaha, where did it come from? It came from Sakshat Brahman. Vitata Brahmana Mukhe. The Lord, when it created, when the Lord, let's say, Purovacha Prajapatihi, that shloka comes, 10th shloka in chapter 3. The Lord said, I created the Lord, this land, I created human beings, I created everything. I also brought a concept called yajna. Sahayajna maya srishta purovacha prajapatihi. Use that and then milk your cow of desire. Brahman said, I will lay the rules of the game. If you play in the rules of the game, you will only win the game. That's what he said in 10th shloka in chapter 3. So that's why he says, Vitata Brahmana Mukhe, Karmajan Vidditan Sarvan, by purifying your karma, by purifying how you do your action, you will transform your karma into a yajna, which is what we saw in the last 2 days. Karmaniya karmahaya pashet arabhya yaha paryantam. These 2 days, that is what we saw. How this way view, the 12 beautiful principles, how do you do work? How do you approach your work through using those 12 principles? All karmajan vidditan sarvan. Evam jnatva, having known that you are liberated. Evam jnatva vimokshase. That is your path for liberation. So he concluded all those discussions with this shloka. Then starts the jnana prashamsa. Shreyan dravyamayat yajnat jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. See, in modern parlance, particularly in mathematics and all that, they use the word axiom. Axiom means that is a principle which cannot be violated. It's like a theory. Axiom means it's a theory. In these remaining shlokas, Krishna brings in every shloka one theory, one axiom. What is the axiom here? Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. That's a golden rule. It's axiom 1 of knowledge. Theorem 1 of knowledge, if you have to use a word like that. He brings big axioms in these shlokas. Anyway, he says, Shreyaha, Shreyan, Dravyamayat yajnat, Jnana yajna. Arjuna, I showed you so many different yajnas. Now I will tell you, if you really started practicing it, you will ask which one is better out of the. Initially, we will never ask that question because it is all new. Once we get into it, after some time, oh, these are all happening. Then you want to know which one is better than this. That question will come only when we do yajna. So he was waiting until then. Now he is saying, I told you 12 different type of yajnas. Do all that. But you will find for yourself, swadhyaya yajna, this yajna, all that you will do. Slowly you will actually find jnana yajna is better than all the yajnas. That's what he says. The yajna of knowledge, means your effort, all that you do, which take you finally to the knowledge. That is superior. He said that. Why? He is now giving reasons for all of them. The first reason he says is, Sarve karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Forget all our spirituality and all that. This is a cardinal principle in the world of Vyavahara. When you start doing a work, you learn how to do the work. Try doing it for 3 months, 5 years. You will become a ustad in it. Because work always ends in knowledge. I understood how to do. Work always leads only to knowledge. There is no other way. Because initially I would have started not knowing how to do. But doing it more and more repeatedly, I will only become an expert in it. When I say I am an expert, what does it mean? I got the knowledge of doing how to do it well. In Vyavahara, I am saying it is true. But Krishna here is not talking about Vyavahara. He is talking about highest pedestal. But the fact remains that whatever you do, when you keep doing diligently some work, which means, why is he saying it? If you diligently practice those 12 principles of karma, if you diligently practice the different types of yajna that we are talking about, I guarantee you, you will end into knowledge. You will finally, your destination is jnana. Now, what is this jnana? That is the most important thing. What are these characteristic features of jnana to say all these? They are all coming in different slokas, but I want to spend some time here. The entire discussion in our scriptures, particularly in Vedanta, is only about jnana. That is a single pointed discussion. Nothing else. The entire discussion in our Vedantic text is only about jnana. So what is this jnana? There are some ways to explain. First of all, chemistry, physics is not jnana. I'll tell you why. I will also explain. Management knowledge is not jnana. Okay? Chemistry, physics is not jnana. How to take care of 100 people and then interpersonal skill is not jnana. How do I manipulate is not jnana. All those are not jnana. Because they will all fail one meets a few metrics of jnana. So what are their metrics? First metric is, the first lakshana of jnana is, after getting it, you don't need anything else. How many of you are saying that after I got a management degree, I am happy? This urge is there. The first lakshana of jnanam is after you got it. That's it. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, in his parable, he beautifully gives an example. He says, this honeybee will keep on going round and round. It will make the sound. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, that sound will be there only until it sits in the flower. Once it sits in the flower and start absorbing the honey, the sound has stopped. Nothing else. So much so that that bee is actually immersed in this thing, and it may attain nirvana also. Meaning it is over. Okay. So the first lakshana of jnana is, after getting it, you do not aspire for anything. See, there is one famous Mundaka Upanishad. Beautiful Upanishad. 3 chapters. Satyameva Jayate, Indian emblem is there. Satyameva Jayate Nanratam, Satyasya Panta. There is one shloka, beautiful shloka there. Our emblem is there, Indian emblem. That Upanishad starts with the first mantra. There is one person by name Shaunakaha. Okay? This Shaunakaha Mahasala means he is wealthy. Wealthy means he has a farmhouse. Maybe he has some 50 by 80 plots in the middle of the city. He has all that you can, he has a Porsche car, 400 brake horsepower car. You can take whatever you want. Take all that. That is called wealthy person in today's parlance. So, Shaunakaha Mahashalaha, Angirasam. He goes to Vidivat, goes to him properly. And you know what he asked him? He asked him, Kasmin Vijnate Sarvamitam Vijnatam Bhavati iti. Can you tell me, by knowing that I will be known of everything? After making so much money, after being so good in his Vyavahara, he has that sense of imperfection. So the second lakshana of jnana is, when you obtain jnana, you are perfection. And what is the sign of imperfection? The world of action. Do you know why we are all working? Because there is a sense of imperfection in us. For some people, imperfection is, I have not come up as good as you in material status. For some other, the imperfection is, I am not as famous as you are. For some other, the imperfection is, I am not as powerful as you are. We engage in the world of vyavahara because there is imperfection. The day that imperfection is fulfilled, first we have to know what makes us perfect. Jnana will also supply that. The day we have fulfilled everything and we are an embodiment of perfection, karma will drop. That's why nobody can take sannyasa. Sannyasa has to take you. Nobody can renounce. The renunciation will have to just grab you. When it will grab you, you reach that state of perfection. Until then, we are imperfect. And the imperfection is shown by action. An imperfect person requires rajas. A perfect person will have sattva. Rajas will be subdued. Rajas is the raw material for action. And why is this imperfection? Because we do not know what is nitya, what is anitya. We do not know what is satya, what is asatya, satyam, nanritam. We do not know what is satyam, what is anritam. We do not know what is permanent, what is not permanent. Yesterday I said what needs to be in ashraya, we do vyavahara. What needs to be in vyavahara, we do ashraya. Everything is ulta pulta. God has to be ashraya. God is in a vyavahara padartha now. Money is for vyavahara, that is ashraya. Put it into some deposit or put it into some somewhere and then all the time keep counting it. Everything we got wrong. Why? Because we are an embodiment of imperfection. Moment you get jnana, you become a state of perfection. So these lakshanas he is going to say. That is why he says all work. Adi Shankara in Viveka Chudamani says, karmaha chitta shuddhyarte na vastu upulabhyate vastu siddhi vicharena na kinchit karma koti bihi. We'll come to the shloka a little later. In one of the shlokas I can connect it. Means this karma, you're doing karma, it will purify. It will not give you the knowledge. In other words, in mathematics theorem, even in 10th, 11th they study this. 12th standard also they studied it. Whenever you talk of some theorem, they say there is something called necessary condition and sufficient condition. With mere necessary condition, you cannot prove. It is necessary but not sufficient. So some conditions are called necessary condition. Then there is some more condition additionally required. They are called sufficient condition. If you satisfy all of them, the theorem is proved or that property is established. So for jnana, the necessary condition, or in other words, to become perfection, to become an embodiment of perfection, necessary condition is chitta shuddhi. That comes through what Krishna taught till yesterday. Sufficient condition is jnana sampadana. So that is what he is going to talk about now. That is what he is going to talk about now. That's why he says, Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. There are some lakshanas. Look at this. This is another lakshana of jnana. Mundaka Upanishad. This is my very favorite Upanishad. I like many of these shlokas actually. Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, I really love. Very nice shlokas there. Look at what it is saying. Vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. When you got that drishti of that ultimate, when you realize that vision of that ultimate, what happened? Your hridaya granthi, there is this knot between chit and jada. We are made of chit and jada. Chit jada granthi. It's a complex knot. He says that knot will loosen. The knot will loosen. Vidyate gets loosened. Hridaya grantihi. Chidyante. Everything gets destroyed. What? Sarva samshayaha. All your doubts are gone. All your doubts are gone. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. Kshiyante chasya karmani. The tank will become empty. The karma tank, that will become empty. The sanchita karma will completely exhaust. Kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. When you get that vision of the ultimate, that is the lakshana of jnana. The chit jada granthi will loosen. And when chit jada granthi loosens, then you know what is Nitya, what is Anitya, what is permanent, what is temporary, what is right, what is not right. Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vichara will come. That is called Viveka. That is the definition for Viveka. Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vichara. What is Nitya, what is Anitya? We have a lot of confusion. Many of the things which are impermanent with perishable inventory, we think they are all not perishable. Anitya is perishable. Position is perishable. Money is perishable. Fame is perishable. Ego is perishable. Place is perishable. Bandhu is perishable. Relationship is perishable. The world is perishable. This kshetram is perishable. Kshetrajna alone is non-perishable. That clarity will come. That is called Vastu Vichara. Nitya Anitya Vastu Vichara. That all is Lakshanas of Jnana. The same Mundaka Upanishad a little later, in the next Tritiya Mundaka, what is he saying? He is saying, Sayohavai tat paramam brahmaveda brahmaiva bhavati. Yaha brahmaveda saha brahmaiva bhavati. It's a famous statement actually. Brahmaveda brahmaiva bhavati. You become Brahman when you get that jnana. Okay, not only that. Na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati. When a person has done jnana sampadana, his entire kula, nobody will come without the knowledge of Brahman. See, when Prahlada, when Nasimha torn this Hiranyakashipu into pieces, nobody could go near. Bhagavatam, you should, Srimad Bhagavatam, beautiful stuti. Prahlada stuti is there. So when Prahlada went near, his boy, young boy, slowly went near and said, my father did all kinds of mischief. You must really, pardon him. You know what Nasimha said? He said, the day you are born to your father, 14 generations on this side and 7 generations on this side are already redeemed. This is what Nasimha said. Nasimha Swami said that. That is what it is saying here. If you become a Brahmavid Bhavati, Tasya na asya abrahmavid kule bhavati. His kula will have people who, there will be nobody who says, I don't know Brahman. So we are investing on for our future. For our santati, we can invest. That's what this shloka is saying. Tarati shokam. He will cross this ocean of shoka. Tarati shokam. Okay. Tarati papmanam. All sins. You will cross the ocean of sins. Guha grantibhyo vimuktaha. This chitjada granti. That will all you will liberate from that. Same Upanishad is saying. These are jnana lakshanas. This is what Krishna is going to now inspire us. He says, don't think lightly about the jnana. Jnana is a big thing. We are all actually implicitly working for that. We think, different ways. All of us are working for that sense of fulfillment, sense of perfection, sense of bliss. That is what for we are working. But our understanding of what it is only is changing. That is why these kinds of, satsanga, these kinds of, this thing will start churning our mind. We are all working for the same goal, but we see the goal post differently. That's all is the difference. We can be on the same page. We are in different pages. That's the only difference. But our uddesha is the same. Our approach is not, but the uddesha goal is same. But we ended up in different places and wasted our time. That is what it is. One minute, somebody has opened it. Okay. So now he talks about the various aspects of knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattva darshinaha. Now Krishna says, how will you get this knowledge? How will you get this knowledge? Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattva darshinaha. They will. Tattva darshinaha, they have infinite compassion. They will. But we have to approach. Tadvidhi. Understand this. Pranipatena. Okay. Pariprashnena. Sevaya. Do these 3 things. You may ask, why should you do these 3 things? I have written an article purely for today's management also using this shloka. Because if you have to really get knowledge from somebody who is very, very knowledgeable, the first thing is you have to enter into that mind space. You should feel about me, no? So first time I'll come and say, sir, how are you, sir? Then I'll keep on meeting you. Then I'll bring some fruits. Because you should feel that love has to develop, doesn't develop just like that. The love has to develop in its own ways. That is one. But particularly here, why do you need pranipata and seva and all that? Is in Brahmajnana, adhikaritva is very, very important. These Tattvadashis, what they will do, they will not give you jnana that easily. See, when Ramana Maharshi was there was one, I don't remember, one Swami was there. He used to say, for 15 years, Ramana Maharshi was just asking him to do some mean work. You know, you look at that construction, he'll stand there and then see whether it is. So he used to say that I was wondering why I have come here for, Bhagavan's, grace. I am going through all this, but he has to go through all that, and towards the end, Bhagavan will go to him. When he was not well, Bhagavan will go to him. So the adhikaritva has to come. Jnana cannot enter just like that. It cannot be just, printed in a pamphlet and then distributed. It's not like that. That is why that pariprashna, you must have the deep desire. And I have seen many of the Swamijis, they don't give, any jnana. They'll ask you to come 10 times. The idea of asking to come 10 times is, how serious are you? Adhikaritva is very, very important. It is not, what we do in modern parlance. We have what is called MOOC, massively open online course. Whole world is taking my course. 200,000 people are taking my course. I don't know who has adhikaritva, but they are taking my course. 200,000 people take my course. The 7th time or 8th time I am offering. Whole world from 200 countries. This knowledge is not like that. That is aparavidya. That is okay. Paravidya is not like that. We have to have that adhikaritva. And if you have the adhikaritva, that's what Krishna is saying. Pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya, if you do these three, nischayena, upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina, because they have understood you have the adhikaritva. In Viveka Chudamani, these people are all learning that. Viveka Chudamani, 34th sloka to 42nd sloka. There are some 8-9 slokas only on this. I'll take 1 or 2 slokas and show you. Who are these Tattvadarshis? So we should also know, because there is, Guru can do Chittapahara or Vittapahara. You have to be very careful. Chittapahara means he will steal your mind. Vittapahara means he will steal your purse. Vitta means money in Sanskrit. Chitta is mind. So Guru, you have to be very careful. Some Gurus are Vittapahara, some Gurus are Chittapahara. So who is that Guru? There is a nice, the preamble of Viveka Chudamani, you will see it. The first about 70 shlokas is preamble in Viveka Chudamani, before the jnana is being discussed. So you will see a couple of shlokas on Guru. Ato vicharaha kartavyaha jigyasoho atmavastunaha samasadya daya sindhum gurum brahmavid uttamam. So the first line talks about adhikaritva. Vicharaha kartavyaha by whom? Jignasu. Jignasu means Jnatum ichati is jignasu. I have a deep desire to know this knowledge. It is not, just like the time pass I will. This is a burning desire. That desire should burn in you first. He is called jignasu. Jignasu in what? Atma vastu. My desire is knowing what is this? Who am I? What is this Jiva Jagat Ishwara Sambandha? There is Jiva. And there is a Jagat. Jagat includes all these people. Jagat includes this beautiful temple and this Satsanga hall. It's called Jagat. I am a Jiva. And there is a Ishwara. You may call whichever way. You may call, your Ishta Devata, deity can be anything, but all of us understand there is a larger force. What is the connection between these three triangles? Everybody of us wants to know. But if that desire becomes stronger, the Guru will appear in front of you. There are any number of examples. The Guru will appear, and that is all Kataksha. That Kataksha will happen only when you show that great desire to love. Jijnasutva is very important. If you show genuine desire that I want to get liberated, the God will appear in 1,000 ways for you. At every step, pade pade, every step He will hold you and take you. You may not even understand it. You don't have to understand it actually. Why should I understand all that? I don't have to even understand. The Guru is, Guru, if you take a chemical process, chemistry, there is a word called catalyst. This catalyst, the property of a catalyst is when two chemicals are reacting and creating a third chemical. Some reaction will happen. Sodium and chlorine will become sodium chloride. Something will happen. The catalyst will only speed up the process. It will not take part in the reaction. This is what we learned in elementary chemistry. The definition of catalyst is the catalyst will speed up the process. The process will be facilitated. It will not partake. Guru is actually like that. Guru will only speed up the process. He will not participate. He will do things in the Sannidhana of the Guru. Things will happen to you. That we don't know how it happens, but it happens. So that, and how is that Guru? He is Daya Sindhu. The Guru is a Daya Sindhu. Brahmavit. If he is not a Brahmavit, then Vittopahara will happen, not Chittopahara. He should be a Brahma, Shrotriyam Brahma, Samitapaniyam, Shrotriyam. Again and again in all Upanishads it will come. There is a Lakshana of a Guru also. In Viveka Chudamani, those 6-7 shlokas are only the Guru Lakshana. Beautifully it is there. Brahmani Uparataha. What is this Guru? The Guru is, in Brahman he is Uparata. See, Rata means rebel. That's why Rati. Manmata and Rati. That Rati comes from the Rata means rebel. Upa means very close. I told you that Upanayana means taking close. The Upasarga Upa means close. So this person is very close to Brahman and is always reveling in it. That's the meaning of Brahmani Uparataha. Brahman Uparataha. Shantaha. Virindana Ivanalaha. The fire must all be completely burnt into completely ash. There should be not even a small speck of some fire in it. If there's a small speck of fire, if you put something, the fire will start. No sooner it will become a big fire. So, Nirindana Ivanala, you should be an empty cylinder. If the cylinder has some gas, if you keep it closed for some time, the day you open it and you put your lighter, the fire will come. So, Nirindana Ivanala is like an empty cylinder, which means the Loka Karya is over. What is this fire? Fire is the tension. Fire is the pressure. Fire is the stress. Those are the fire. They are all subsided. He is a Guru. Nirindana Ivanalaha. Ahetuka Daya Sindhu. Without reason, he will be an ocean of Daya for you. The day you understood you have the Adhikaritva. Until then, he will wait. Because you should have the Adhikaritva. Once the Adhikaritva is established, he will be Ahetuka Daya Sindhu. Bandhu, Anamatam Satam. Such people you go and prostrate. Sat people, they have all these, go to them, they will redeem you. That's what Viveka Chudamani it says. Tam Aradhya, Tam Gurum Aradhya, Tam Aradhya Gurum Bhaktya, Prakhva Prashraya Sevanaihi, Pranipatena Pariprashana, all those are coming here. Same thing only he is saying in a different way. Okay? Prasannam Tam Anuprapya, get into his prasannata. The best thing will flow only when they are very the best. It will just melt. Prasannatam Tam Anuprapya, Krichet Nyatavyam Atmanaha. Now you go and ask him, I have come here, please redeem me. I want to know this Atma Jnana. These are the set of shlokas from that Viveka Chudamani actually. Yes. Now this Guru is defined in so many ways, beautifully. In many of the Upanishads, you will find a similar shloka. Tat Vijnanartam Sa Gurumeva Bigachet Samittapanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. That is a lection of the Guru. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He is in the Nishtha of Brahman. Means he is constantly focused in Brahman. He has reached that stage. Even when he is engaging in so many activities, his mind is always anchored in Brahman. It's a Brahmanishta. So Panini, 2800 years back, he came with a beautiful definition. The great grammarian of the world, Panini, in his Ashtadhyayi, he defines Guru. Look at this shloka. Gu shabdastu andakarasya, ru shabdaha tan nirodakaha, andakara niroditva guruhu iti abhidiyate. He said the word Guru has a Gu and Ru. Gu means darkness. Ru means removing the darkness. So he has taken Guru. Who is Guru? Guru removes darkness in your life. And the darkness in your life is not having less cash or health problem. Darkness in life is the absence of jnana. Once the jnana comes, that's why Parikshit, dropping the body after 7 years was no issue for him because he had jnana sampadana. When jnana has come, the kshetra is immaterial. The prakriti is immaterial. Everything becomes immaterial. So removing darkness is the greatest thing that we all long for. We don't know how the darkness will be removed. We try so many things. We put a 100 watts bulb and think that darkness will be slightly less. That is not what it is. Darkness in our life. That andhakara must go. That is the definition of Guru Panini gives. So Tattvadarshis are Shrotriyaha, Brahmanishtaha, Brahmavid, Ahetuka Daya Sindhu, and one who can do Andhakara Nivarana. Permanently. That is what a Guru is. He says that Tattvadarshins will definitely come in your way if you show all these, Pranipata and Pariprashna and all that. Yajñātvā na punarmoham yevam vyasyasi pandava yena bhūtāna seshena drakshasyatmanyato mayi. This is another lakshana of jnana. See, the greatest thing about jnana is once you attained it, it will not go out of you. So I'll give a simple example which we can easily relate. You go to a desert. You don't even have to go to a desert. Go to a place like Hyderabad or Madras, which are all hot cities. In the month of April, you go. In the tar road, you will see water. Like that. It looks like water. Mirage. Right? Now, this is the example. When you see mirage, first time in your life, you never knew what was mirage. What will you do? You lift your dress. You should not get wet. Actually, when you go near it, the mirage is gone. Right? Now, first time you understood that. No, now I have got a jnana now. This is a small example. I have got a jnana. Now, after I have got a jnana, will the mirage appear second time? It will appear. But I know it is not water. Mirage will not go. When jnana is there, mithya will be there, but we know it is mithya. It is not satya. Mirage will continue to appear, but we will know that there is no water. There is nothing to be done. I don't have to worry that my dress will get wet. Nothing. I will not be surprised when I go near that the water disappeared. Correct? That's what he is saying. He is saying, yat jnatva. So, what is the jnana we are missing? We do not know that Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. We have not understood that many of the things that we do in this world in the name of Vyavahara and all that are Mithya, that we do not know. We thought there is water. We thought it was mirage and we kept on doing it. Because the Jnana Sampadana did not happen. Moment Jnana Sampadana happened, you will continue to, there is this big argument people make. Sir, if you get Jnana, if you say Jagat is Mithya, you will keep quiet. No, I will not keep quiet. As much as the water will not disappear from the scene, water will appear. But I have become wiser. I don't care. The same way, Jagat will be there. I will do Vyavahara and Jagat. I know all these are false. I am not bothered. That is what a Tattvadarshi is. That's what a person who understood Jnana. He will continue to be. So he will actually, without any problem, we are all having so many troubles. Will I get my promotion? Will this happen? Will I get money tomorrow morning? What will happen? This man will not do any of those. He has understood all these are falsehood, but they will appear. Just as the mirage will continue to appear, even when they know there is no mirage, it will continue to appear. That's called mithya. Huh? It's like that. It's like the snake and the rope, or the silver and the shell. It's like that. But they will all appear. But I will not be deluded anymore. Which means there is no tension now. I am absolved of a lot of frameworks which I had, which were all wrong. That is what jnana will do. That's why jnatva punaha na moham yasyasi pandava. You will never get deluded. The world will continue to play its own variety in all possible ways. You will never be deluded by that at all, because you understood. You saw the mirage, went near it, saw it, finished. That's all. Very freely you will now operate. That's what he says. Yena bhutani. So what is that knowledge? That knowledge is Brahma Satyam. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahma. All these are Upanishadic statements. That knowledge, when you got, tension will stop. Please understand fear. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a beautiful passage. The passage says, God created so kamayata bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapyata satapastaptva idagum sarvam asrijita edidam kincha tasrishtva tadevanupravishatu. He entered into it. The Lord said, let me now enter into everything. Tadanu pravishya satchatyacha bhavat niruktancha niruktancha nilayanancha nilayanancha vijnanancha vijnanancha. Opposite, avijnanam avijnanam, vijnanam avijnanam, nilayanam anilayanam. In Sandhida is going when I recite. Vijnanancha vijnanancha satyam cha nridam cha satyam abhavat edidam pincha. Then it says the usual moment is our duality. Tasya adasasya badam gayo bhayam gato bhavat. The slightest idea of differentiation entered into human being. Then he started seeing the world of multiplicity. Moment he saw the world of multiplicity, competition, fear, if there is only one, where is Parajaya? Who used to be one for Parajaya if the whole world is one? Where is competition? Where is this jealous? Where is this possibility of Vimatsara? That Taittiriya Upanishad says. This Lord entered into everything, everything was peaceful. One slight crack happened. Once upon a time, one small hairline crack happened. With that individual thought the world is little different from me. End of the story. The world of multiplicity opened. Atatasya bhayangato bhavat. Like that in Taittiriya Upanishad is saying. Whereas here he is saying, aseshena bhutani drakshyasi atmanyatamayi. Aseshena, without any sesha, without leaving any reminder, this person sees the entire bhuta, not manushya. It says bhuta. It never used the word manushya. It used bhuta. The whole world and these pancha bhutas, everything is me alone. That knowledge he got, so all fear resided now. Everything settled. No more problem. That's what he is actually saying. Apichedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplaveneva vijinam santarishyati. Second axiom. Sarvam jnanaplaveneva vijinam santarishyati. It is a golden rule. The only way you can cross the ocean of sins, sin meaning not necessarily papa, limitation, birth and death, my limited understanding of the world, my imperfection, all these you can bracket under that. It says, Sarvam Jnana Plava. Plava means actually a small boat. Only using the boat called knowledge, you will be able to cross the samsara. That is what, this is an axiom. Again, this is a golden rule. This rule can never go wrong. Just like Sarvam Karma Kilam Partha Jnane Parisama, axiom 1. This is axiom 2. These are all golden rules. This can never go wrong. Right? He says, your past is unimportant. Your past is not at all important. Asmin Kshane, at this point in time, you obtain jnana. That's it. You look at great santas. Purandara Dasa, Dasara Padagulu, 8,000, 10,000, 10,000 plus Dasara Padas like that. You should look at his Purvashrama. He was a money lender. He was sucking people's blood. That was the business he was doing. But all that just transformed because, by his prarabdha at one point in time that jnana has to enter into him. That's what it is saying. Apichedasi papebhyah. You would have done so many things in the past, but once you got into the satsanga and got into the road, finished, all those will be obliterated. I'll give you a simple example to understand this. A very jocular example, but it conveys it very powerfully. There was one sadhu. This sadhu was about to go into the temple. In many of the temples you find beggars are sitting at there asking for some alms, no? So there was one beggar sitting on a wooden box. Yeah, sitting on a wooden box, asking for alms. So the sannyasi said, I am supposed to also beg, because that is my ashrama dharma. I don't have any possessions. I am also supposed to beg for my food and eat. Therefore, what am I to give you? But I will want to tell you one thing. Why don't you open? You're sitting on a box. Why don't you open and see what is inside? So this beggar said, what is this, sir? This is where I am the 7th generation beggar. 400 years back, my tata was sitting in the same box. We are all begging only. That box has become very dirty actually. And there is a lock which is probably 200 years old. I don't know how to open it. So he said, no. We are all traditional beggars. We are sitting for generation. There is nothing to open and see. Like that, this beggar replied. Sannyasi said, okay, you seem to be knowing well, God bless you, but I want to tell you one more thing. Before going into the temple, he made one statement. And that statement was, you please understand, whether you sit on it for 1 hour or 1 million hours, until you open and see what it is, you may not know what it is. He made one statement like that and went inside the temple. Finished. It's all over. After a few days, this statement was piercing this beggar. I think they maybe this sannyasi has something sensible he's saying. What he said is right, no? Whether you sit on a box with a lock, 1 hour, 1 million hour, 1 crore hour, or 1 light year, until you open and see, you may not know what is inside. That is true. So this idea started eating away this beggar. After 15 days, 20 days, a month, he became restless. So what he did was, he took a stone because he couldn't open that. So he opened the lock. He opened and saw it was full of diamond. This is our story. We are all sitting on a box called Vyavahara, Samsara, not knowing there is jnana inside. Inside there is jnana. We have put a chit, that is called chit jada granthi. Vidyate hridaya granthihi, I told you, no? That is the example. We have tightly put a locker on a locker and kept the jnana inside. Because we are nothing but vayam sarve amritasya putraha. Shrinvantu vishve amritasya putraha. In Shvetashara Upanishad, this is how it says. Shrinvantu vishve amritasya putraha. You are all children of immortality. Vivekananda used to say that again and again. Why are we children of immortality? Because we are immortality. We have covered it. Avaranam. In 5th chapter, you will find the 9 shlokas were out about all these. Tesham, Aditya Vijnanam, all those are there. Some 16 shlokas, 17 shlokas in chapter 5. There he talks about that. That is Sannyasa Yoga. Next step. So that the ideas are coming. We have covered it so densely, protected it so carefully, and kept it to the extent we don't know what it is. We are sitting on it. So Krishna is saying, it doesn't matter how long you sat. Open it. So the past does not matter. That's what he is saying. Apichedapi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah. The day you latched on to the boat of knowledge, the box will be opened. Once the box is opened, there is absolute silence. You will be baffled that I have wasted so much of time. All that will go. You don't even think. Everything will melt. So, sarvam jnana plaveneva vrijinam santarishyati. You will cross the ocean of sins. For that, you need a boat called knowledge. Don't underestimate knowledge. Without knowledge, you will not be able to cross. You sit, you do this vyavahara for thousands and Shatakoti Janmaha is the first shloka in Viveka Chodamani. He says Shatakoti Janma. That is 10 power 9. Koti is 10 power 7. There is a Shatakoti, which means we are sitting on the box for too long. We don't belong to that. The day we started this satsanga, we have actually started looking for a stone now. I am telling you, I am seriously telling you, for us to leave out everything and come and sit here is impossible. I have seen hundreds of students come to my class for 1 week. And they say, no, this is very important. They will not come the second week. You need Bhagavad Anugrah. We all are blessed by the Lord. That's why we are sitting here. So out of Shatakoti Janma, I think over for us. That's why we have come here. I say it all the time. Satsanga is not possible because there are 1,000 equally compelling, attractive propositions. We think that's very important in life. To make us think this Jnana Vichara is important is Lord's grace has already befallen on us. That is the meaning. So we have come very far. On that hope we have to go forward. It's very reassuring. On that hope we have to go forward. We have crossed so many Janmas and we are already on the road. We are already waiting for the boat. The boat is on its way. That is what we are all actually. Yes.
We went to a prison and held some discourse there. So one of the prisoners said that had you come in my life 3 years earlier, I would not have been into jail at all.
Sir, actually there are examples because they came and the jail became like what it was for Vasudeva and I will give you another example. Vivekananda, after his Chicago address, he came back. He became very famous. When he was going, he was not famous. He was actually not having money. The letters he has written to Alasinga Perumal and all that you should read. Stunning letters. Sometimes when I read, my heart melts. Vivekananda, these great Mahapurushas, Prayatna is very, very different. That's why you have to read about them. Some days I melt when I read it. He has actually wandered in Rajasthan here and there without food for 30 days, without water. He has fallen, Vivekananda has fallen soon and somebody has, given him water. That Purusha became a Mahapurusha. Nobody tells those stories. I have books on that. Ramakrishna Bhatt gives me those books when I give a lecture. That's why I go there. Some nice letters of Vivekananda, I have a book. Wonderful letters are there. When he came back, he was famous. When he was going, he was not famous. When he came back, he was famous. First, the reception was given in Colombo. There's a book called Colombo to Almora Lectures of Vivekananda. Because then he gave so many, Raja of Setupati gave a reception in Madurai. Now everybody wanted to receive him. So he was received in Colombo. There was a function organized. A lot of people were there. One young boy was sitting in the first row. Okay. Vivekananda comes. Vivekananda starts the lecture. He says, the subject is vast. Time in our hand is less. What he perhaps meant was he has taken a topic today which really requires a lot of elaboration, but we have very little time. That boy went away. This was the Upadesha for that boy. He understood the subject of Jnana is vast, the time in his hand, he became a great sannyasin. I don't remember the name, I'll not really search, I read it. So, this is what will happen. Once we are on the right track, so we don't know which way it will happen. That boy walked away immediately. The lecture has not started. For the boy, Upadesha has happened. Finished. That boy went away. He got his Upadesha. He is much more prepared, ready to receive the Upadesha. This sentence was the Upadesha for him. There's another story. There is a boy and a father in Kolkata. This boy was wanting to read this, some spiritual books. The father says, no, no, I want you to be in the world, because many of us are like that. So, which is fine. So he says, no, no, you can't be reading. So they entered into an argument with each other. In a fist of anger, the father pulled the book, threw it out of the window. It landed on somebody's head. It was the prasadam for him. That book transformed that gentleman. So, and what I'm saying, if you are ready, if adhikaritva is there, 1,000 ways it will come. You don't have to go going and looking after and all that. Any number of examples you will find. When the adhikaritva has come, the Lord will take it. That manobhava will also come. We'll start searching also. That is also part of the adhikaritva. The manobhava will come. So that is what he is saying, that whatever is your past, it will all, at that time, it will just evaporate. That's the end of it. That's what he is saying here. Yathaidamsi samiddognihi pasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani pasmasat kurute tata. It is another axiom. The axiom is jnanagnihi sarva karmani pasmasat kurute. This is the third axiom of knowledge. This can never be wrong. It can never be false. If you have not experienced it, you have to wait for it. It only means that. So what is he saying? Yataidamsi. Yataha edamsi. In Sandhi it has become A plus A has become I. Yataha edamsi. Yata edamsi. Samiddagnihi pasmasat kurute Arjuna. Right? Just like this fire. If you have a good fire and put the samit in it, the samit will all, no time it will, right? That fire will completely consume it and make it a bhasma completely. That's what the first line is saying. Just as, because that is something which we know. Just as a fire, if you put a wood into it, see this fire, in Sanskrit, the word for fire is analaha. Analaha. There is a reason for it. So all Sanskrit words are not manufactured out of nothing. They are manufactured only with meaning. Anartha vakya, anartha padaha samskrite kadapi na drashtum shaknuma. There is no anartha pada. Mikku, tikku and all is not there in Sanskrit. Because we don't know how to, we don't know what is the, vyutpatti for it. We don't know what is the root from which Bhikkhu was. Whereas every word can be derived in Sanskrit. Every word can be systematically derived. Greatness of the language. Now, what is this anala? Now, if you go, it comes from first ala. Alam means enough. Bhojanena alam means enough. I am full. So we say Bhojanena alam. Alam means enough. Right? What is analam? Not enough. It's anti. Na alam is analam. Fire is called anala. You know why? When fire is in full rage, you would put anything. I have seen it. This idea came to me, when I was studying 4th standard. This is in my mind. When I was studying 4th standard, I was returning home one day from my school with my bag. First time I witnessed fire accident in my village. This is my first, that's why it is in my mind even today. 4th standard. First time I saw a fire accident. 6 houses were burning. And vividly I remember. But what astonished me as a small child, there was this fire tender. There was one fire engine came. And they were actually, they stunned me. Then when the anala came, I understood the meaning of it. So the fire engine, the doors were burning. I vividly remember the doors were burning. So the fire engine was actually, so I was standing there and seeing the whole thing, just a little away. So it was an astonishing experience for me. First time I'm seeing a fire accident. So, he was doing the hose. It all became smoke. Then he went to the second house. Fire came again. You see it even today. That's why it's called anala. When fire is in full rage, Putting out fire is not easy. So I kept on saying it. He completely applied water. It all became smoky and all that. Then this fire gentleman went to the other this thing. Actually, I found this fire started again. Then he came again. This is what happens if you really watch how fire is put out. That's why it takes time. It is anala. It says not enough. Whatever you give, I will eat. That's how the word is derived. So much is behind that word. See, if you take world has so many words. Paryaya padas, Jagat, Lokah. That's why we should learn Sanskrit. Our understanding of many things will change. Now, the word Loka comes from a root called Lochr or Lokr. Both are there. This comes from Lokr. Lokr Darshane. On matters of seeing, use a verbal root, dhatu called Lokr. That's what it means. Dugrinj karane. Nahi nahi rakshati dugrinj karane. Dugrinj karane means in the meaning of work, karanam, use dugrinj. In Bhajagovindam. Nahi nahi rakshati dugrinj karane. The story there is one old man understood, if I have to reach moksha, I need to know all this knowledge. If I have to know all this knowledge, I have to learn Sanskrit. So if I have to learn Sanskrit, he started with Dhatupata. Vyakarana Dhatupata. So Dugrinj Karane, he was saying, just like Lokri Darshane, Bu Sattayam. There are 2,200 like that. So Lokri Darshane means on matters of seeing, use the word Lokri. So now we call this, one of the synonym for the world is Loka. You know why? Because your world is different from my world. The world is what you see. The world is what you see. Yeah, an insect with 4 indriyas, that world is different from us. We have 5 indriyas. An insect with 3 indriyas, its sense of the world is different. To communicate that, the word Loka is brought. Loka means what you see is the world. That's the word that is coming there for Loka. Right? Prapancha. Another Paryaya pada for world is Prapancha. It comes from, world is made of Panchabhutas. Prapancha. That's why it is called Prapancha. The Panchabhutas, man. So every word, moment you know meaning and the dhatu, you understand what you are actually, Avaduta. There is a word called Avaduta. The word Avaduta comes from a Sanskrit root called Drui. Drui means to shake off. And Avaduta is one who was shaken off everything in this world. He needs nothing. That's why he is called Avaduta. Drui. Drui is the root, verbal root from which Avaduta comes. You can derive it. That's also, that's why, Anala, moment Anala, you went somewhere, anyway. So it says, this Agni is called Anala because it has a tendency to consume everything. So he says, in the same way, just as it will consume everything, this jnana is a fire for you. It will consume all your past karmas. It will consume all your sanchita karmas. That is why in deepest discussions and arguments, Videha Mukti is possible. People have asked, how is Videha Mukti possible? There is a tank full of karma. In this Janma, I brought only one bag. There is a sanchita karma. What will happen to it? This shloka is the reference for it. It says, moment you got jnana, all these karmas will be burnt. What is remaining is what you brought. That you have to finish and go. That you cannot, there is no discount on it. You already started. That's why I said you have left the arrow. The arrow has to reach the destination. You cannot do anything about it. You gave the key to the toy and left it. Until the key is loosened, the toy will keep on going like this. That you can't stop. So in this Janma, a person, Ramana Maharishi, for example, right, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, these Satpurushas, they will go through all that sufferings and pains and pleasures they have to go through because they brought that back. But all the Sanchita karmas are burnt. That's what this shloka is saying. It is saying, Jnanagnihi sarva karmani basmasat kurte. That is why you should go after knowledge. It will eat away everything. It will eat away everything so that you can get a Videha Mukti. You will get liberated. In fact, Parikshit, He was told 7 days, after 7 days, the snake will bite him and he will die. Shuka Brahma could have done any Maya Jal and then removed that snake. It would not have been very difficult for Shuka. Shuka did not want to do it because if Parikshit lives for some more days, one day he will drop his body. Whereas if Parikshit understands that this body is nothing, then this whole discussion on death becomes immaterial, irrelevant. If you understand that this body, this kshetra is nothing, then who is bothered about Daksha and all that? This is perishable, let it go. That is what Sukha attempted at him. In 7 days, he gave him jnana. Once he got the jnana, he said, the world is gone. Let Daksha come, 1,000 Dakshas also come, doesn't matter because I am out of all these. True liberation. That is what Krishna is saying here. This is another axiom. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhyaha kalena atmani vindati. The most purified agent in the world is jnana. That is the axiom. Nahi jnanena sadrisham, like jnana, pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing more purer than knowledge you can ever ask for. That is another axiom 3 now of knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing more purer, ultimate purity, 99.9999% gold kind of thing. That is jnana. He is inspiring Arjuna. Arjuna, you are stuck with karma. You are worried about small little things about karma and you are not able to raise you to a higher platform. That is why first I raised myself to a higher platform. I say I am Avatar Purusha. Because I am Avatar Purusha, I am telling you, you listen it with more shraddha. He says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram eva vidyate. For all the reasons we talked about. Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Right? Then what did we say? We say, Etaidamsi samidrognihi basmasat purta irjuna. It will remove everything. Jnanaplaveneva vrijinam samtarishyati. The only way you can cross the ocean of your limitations of yourself is only when you get into the boat of knowledge. These 3 reasons are enough to tell that jnana is the most purified, clarified vastu you can ever ask for. That's what Krishna is now bringing the next 4th axiom. He says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram vidyate. Then he says, you will not know it on day 1. You will know it over a period of time. Because it is anubhuti. Jnana is not knowledge. If it is knowledge, then you give me a book, 3 hours, I will sit down and read, thoroughly understand what are all the chemical, physical properties of sugar. That is not knowledge. You put sugar, sweetness, if you want, you have to put it on your mouth. Otherwise, reading 1,000 pages, writing in exams, see, all our students get 100 on 100 on moral science and become most immoral. All our students get 100 on environmental science. City of Bangalore is dumped with garbage. This is the problem with knowledge without experience. This knowledge is of no use. So Krishna says, you have to get anubhuti. That anubhuti happens over a period of time. And that over a period of time, you will really understand, oh, this jnana is the ultimate purified stuff I can ever ask for ever in my life. It will happen only over a period of time. Kalena atmani vindati. I remember a very nice shloka, which is about 2000 years old. This shloka says, Acharyat padam adatte, padam sishyah somedhaya, padam sa brahmacharibhyah, padam kalakramena cha. He says, jnana, whatever knowledge, is even management knowledge, let it be atma jnana, only 25% comes from Acharya. Acharyat padam. Padam is 1/4. In all Indian languages, padam is 1/4. Acharyat padam adatte. Padam sishyah somedaya. Use your cauliflower. Self-reflection. Do it. 25% will come only when you pariprashnena. That is the pariprashnena. Pariprashnena means you have to repeatedly, ask for it. I want this. What is this? I don't understand this. What is this? What is this? And so on. The pariprashna is self-reflection. Manana, you can say. Shravana Anantaram Mananam. So that is the second 25%. Padam sa brahmachari. In Atma Vidya it may not happen, but in other knowledge, 25% is group work. Sa brahmachari Vidya. Together we can, Satsanga also will help. Here also 25% will come in Satsanga. Why not? Padam sa brahmachari Vidya. In Gurukula there are brahmacharis, so Padam sa brahmachari, 25% learning. Then what did they say? Padam kala kramena. Learning will happen over a period of time. That's what Krishna is saying here. Kalena atmani vindati yoga samsiddhi. That attainment of that yoga. So what is yoga? Your connection with the eternal. You are constantly in connection with the eternal. This world will all appear mithya to you, but you will engage. Just as mirage is there, it will also be there. You will engage, but with no tension, no pressure. Everything has gone out of you. You are absolutely a bundle of energy with only bliss. The world can never, make you unhappy. It can never disappoint you. It can only surprise you. You can have surprises in life, no disappointments. Disappointments will go. Surprise because I didn't expect that he will do like this, he will do like this. This event will turn like this. Surprise is okay. Disappointment is not okay. One who has reached that sense of knowledge will never get disappointed. He may get surprised. She may get surprised from no one. I think with this axiom, 4 beautiful axioms on knowledge, we will stop here. And by God's grace, we have been able to come this far. Tomorrow is the last day. So there are 4 more shlokas only. We will see tomorrow the 4 shlokas and we will end that. We will say the Shanti mantra and we will end now. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavakai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavakai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Namaha. Harihi Om.
Professor has solved my problem.